Welcome back, YouTube. How's it going? We're going to be checking out the patch notes for the latest and greatest update of Phasmophobia that came out today. This is the Halloween update or also the Nightmare update. And we're just going to be reviewing these patch notes, and then I'm going to be getting some more videos coming out once we get through some of this gameplay. I haven't actually played any of this myself. I watched a few minutes of a stream, and I know that this is going to be intense. That's about all I really got out of it. So let's get reading right through these patch notes. So first we've got the Maple Lodge campsite, a brand new medium-sized map featuring picnic areas, games, multiple tents, a log cabin, and a haunted lake. The Maple Lodge campsite has more unique objects, higher object density, and more visual detail. Minimum specification computer should have no issue, but if you have outdated hardware, you may see an FPS drop. Okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. Definitely, you know, as software comes out, you just got to stay current. Other locations will receive more detail and more unique objects at a later date. So the actual campsite itself seems to be the most action-packed with objects. And then they're going to keep adding on to that. That's pretty cool. So at least they got that out to us as a work in progress. In the future, other locations will receive a new truck mini-map. Oh, that's cool. All right, so in the future, other locations will receive a new truck mini-map design to be consistent with the Maple Lodge campsite. I did notice that in watching a stream, and you'll see this when we get in the van now, is that the map isn't just this architectural plan. It's more of a, almost like a Minecraft map. It's got color. It's more of a painting sort of a thing. I didn't get to stare at it too hard because he just, you know, he was whipping by, but it's definitely different, and I did notice that. We've also got the difficulty rework. This is huge. All difficulties have received a major overhaul. We hope these changes make each difficulty feel more unique and provide more options for players of every skill level. So this isn't across the board. A percentage of doors will now randomly start open depending on the difficulty. So when you walk in the house and you see an open door, that's not necessarily the ghost that did that. It's just starting that way. They're not all shut by default. On Amateur, this is recommended for new ghost hunters. There's a long setup time and a long hunt grace period. Now, I wonder what the difference is between the setup time and the grace period. That's interesting. I almost wonder if that means that it'll hunt at higher sanity if you have different grace periods. We'll have to test that out. Short hunt duration. Okay, that's pretty standard. Sanity pills restore a lot of sanity, so this is going to be variable depending on your difficulty. And you regain half of lost equipment value if you die. So there's no more insurance taking a photo of the body. It's just you get half your money back if you get killed on Amateur. Okay. Intermediate. This is the standard ghost hunting experience. Okay. Average setup time. Average hunt grace period, average hunt duration, sanity pills restore some sanity. So we're going to have to test that at each interval. I'd love to know what the exact sanity restoration level is based on each difficulty. Fuse box starts off. Okay, that's new. So it used to be only on professional did the fuse box start off. Now it's also on intermediate. There are fewer places to hide. That's going to be interesting. So that begins to cut down at intermediate. Now, just to let you know, what I did see is you go to open a locker or closet, the locker might be locked, and the closet might have stuff in it, and you can't get in. So we're going to have to check those out at each level and see what is available, because that's got to be critical knowledge depending on, you know, what you're doing. If you're playing professional or nightmare or intermediate or whatever, knowing which places are actually going to be safe in a pinch, you need to know that in advance. And also regain some of your lost equipment's value if you die. So I don't know what the exact amount is there. I'm not really concerned with that. You know, if you die, you die, and But good to know. It's fractional at that point. Professional for experienced ghost hunters. This is my bread and butter. The ghost can very rarely change can change its preferred room after moving. The ghost room can change. It says very rarely, but still, anytime you find orbs, that was the ghost room. That couldn't change. Now it's possible that could move. No setup time and a short hunt grace period. So there again, that grace period versus setup time, what does that mean? Does that mean your sanity drains faster, or does it mean... Because, I mean, the grace period should be that setup time. I thought they were one and the same. Or does it mean that the ghosts will hunt at higher sanity? Have they changed to 50%, the standard tipping point? I don't know. We'll find out. Long hunt duration. That was par for the course. Sanity pills restore little sanity. We'll have to find out just how much you get back on those. Fuse box starts off. Much fewer hiding places. So maybe on intermediate you get 50% of the lockers and closets will work and 50% won't. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Here we go. Nightmare difficulty. This is the big boy. A new difficulty for the top ghost hunters. Designed to be a challenge mode for those seeking the most intense gameplay Phasmophobia has to offer. Oh, Al, you should start off here. Ghosts will not reveal one type of evidence. So you're only going to be able to get 2 out of 3. You're going to have to figure... It's almost like a no evidence challenge. You're going to have to figure out that third one by just observing the ghost behavior and determining, you know, do I get footprints, or can I use a smudge stick to lock it out of a hunt for 3 minutes, or something like that. Oh, man, that is rough. No setup time and the shortest hunt grace period with a long hunt duration. Now, it says long, same as the professional, so I'm wondering if it's still that same 50 to 55 seconds, or is it somehow even longer than that? Oh, this one, I'd only watch people play it single. I only watch one person play it single. I didn't know this. Kills extend the current hunt's duration. So, the way it's always worked is one of your teammates dies, hunt's over. You can leave. You can walk out now. It's okay. Now, on Nightmare difficulty, if you get killed or your teammate gets killed, the hunt not only continues, it's actually extended. So it's possible then that in a single hunt, if y'all suck, a 4-man team could be wiped out by one hunt. Just by getting hunted down. And there's few hiding spots. It says almost no hiding places. So you're going to have to figure out how to do line of sight breaks behind doors. There's no lockers, no closets. That's going to be... Ooh, people are going to lose their asses on that one. Sanity pills restore much less sanity. It's got to be next to nothing at that point. I'm curious to know what the sanity... Oh, right. We'll get to that. The sanity pills is going to be extra tricky there. You won't even know what you're getting back out of it. We'll get to that in just a moment. So the fuse box starts off. All right, I figured that was going to be the case from professional and intermediate. Almost no hiding places. And here's a kick in the pants for you. Paranormal Interference has damaged some of your monitoring equipment. Now, I saw what this is. The sanity meter panel, whatever, in the truck, and also the activity meter are smashed. You can't read them. So you won't know what your sanity is at all. So you won't even be able to tell. It could be that taking all 4 bottles of sanity pills doesn't put you back up to 50%. There's no way to know. Not without some extenuous, testing. But also with the short hunt grace period, I almost wonder if that means the sanity is draining faster. There's just no way to tell. There's just no way. Okay, next up. Weather. This is a cool one. I saw this, and this is pretty neat. Each time you start a contract, the location will have different weather, adding new layers of gameplay and making each contract feel unique. Changes in temperature will make finding the ghost location more difficult. Rain or wind will impair your hearing, and a thick fog will reduce visibility. So you can have... I thought... Oh, yeah, here we go. So these are some of the different ones. There's clear skies, fog, light rain, heavy rain, strong wind, and light snow. Some of these are cold by default. That's just what they are. And in the event of a cold one, the house is going to seem cold no matter what. So you're really going to have a hard time getting your freezing temps to be accurately located, especially if you've got a roamy ghost. Oh, man. All right, so the Ouija board. I like this change. This was a good one. The Ouija board didn't make much sense. It didn't make as much sense as we'd like, so it's been revamped. You now trade sanity for information and are penalized less if you don't get a response. So it used to be you lost 10% every time you asked the question successfully, and you lost 40% if you failed. Now, the Ouija board will lower your sanity greatly when the ghost responds, but you lose only a small fraction of sanity if it fails. I like that. That's definitely better. It does feel right. Like,
That's
if you don't get a
response. Keith.
What's that? Yeah, that's how you died to Keith. Yeah, you failed a couple times and lost all your sanity and caused a hunt. Well, now failing doesn't cost you very much, only a very small amount of your sanity. And it says demons have had their weaknesses changed to reflect these changes. So we'll have to read that in the book and see what that change really does entail. Several new ghost types have been cited. These new ghost types have an increased chance to spawn for the duration of the Halloween event, which is, I suspect it's for this week, maybe 2 weeks. So gives you a chance to kind of play around with these more and test them out. But we've got the Onryo, the Twins, an Obaki, and a Raiju. Don't know what any of those are. We'll have to find out when we get in there. When crouching, and these are new items, by the way, Al. I'm just reading these off. When crouching, the player's collider now shrinks to match the player model. Does that mean that when crouched before, we were still visible to the ghost if we were hiding behind something? I don't know what that means. The collider now shrinks. Interesting. Ghosts will now disrupt electronic equipment whenever they are visible. So not just during a ghost hunt, but perhaps during any other regular event, it's going to disrupt your cameras, all of your equipment is going to go nutty. That's cool and terrifying. Ghosts can now blow out lighters similar to candles. Dick move. I like it. Using the walkie-talkie will now attract the ghost during hunts. That's been my go-to move to know if the ghost is still hunting, is to hit the walkie-talkie button. You're saying it brings them to me now. That could get dicey. The walkie-talkie will now only play static sounds when near the ghost. Wait a minute. So during a hunt, that I would take that to mean that if you're far from the ghost, the walkie-talkie still works. You can communicate with the van. I would have to check that out. But so I assume that means only once your flashlights are flickering and everything's kind of going crazy, that's when the walkie-talkie would go out on you, and otherwise it's no indicator. But if the ghost is anywhere near you and you thump that button, it might bring it right to you and get you killed. That's dangerous. Lighters and candles will now extinguish when outside in heavy rain and when thrown. Well, that's nice immersion. I like it. You can't just light your candle and run through the heavy rain from the truck to the house and have everything come out. Okay, you're going to have to light it again. Actually, that's kind of obnoxious if your plan is to go in there. If you've got a flashlight, you light a candle in the truck, and you don't want to carry that lighter with you. You want to carry some other item like a photo camera or something, and you want to run through the... If it's heavy rain, you can't just run from the truck to the house and be able to get that candle to stay lit once you get in the house. Oh, that actually could cause a bit of a headache, but okay. So I prefer the immersion though than having the quality of life on the oddball instance of heavy rain when I have to get the candle to be blown out. Let's see. The truck map screen has received new icons. Oh, we'll have to check that out. I did not see those. The ghost can now interact with several showers in certain locations. This I didn't see this in any house, but I guess it would apply to the houses too. But at the campsite, the Maple campsite, there is a building. It's basically bathrooms, so it's got toilets, it's got showers in it, and the ghost, I did see it turn those on. So Not only can it do that, but evidently it'll be able to probably do that in all the houses wherever there's a shower. I wonder if that would work in the farmhouses. We can't really test those because they're bugged right now. If you go in there and a hunt starts, the doors lock and they won't unlock, and you get an infinite hunt and you can't leave. If you leave, it'll just take your items. So you're just guaranteed to lose your items. But they'll probably be fixed up by tomorrow, so we'll have to test that out later on in the week. The ghost, let's see, we got this one. So you can now place sound sensors and motion sensors on floors. I mean, a sound sensor on a floor, I don't care. A motion sensor on a floor isn't going to act as a proximity. You're going to have to cross the beam. But you know what? If you threw a couple of those in a doorway, that would get you to have good coverage through an actual doorway choke point. Whereas right now, you have to put it on either side, and sometimes the walls aren't set up in such a way to cover that. But that's actually pretty good. I like that. Okay, changes. All ghost base speed and acceleration when chasing a player has been slightly increased. Yay, they're faster. So I can be dead quicker. Ghost hunt duration has been lowered on small and medium maps. That's interesting. I thought it was tied only to difficulty level, but apparently it's also tied to the size of the map. Okay. I wonder how long everything is now, because it's not just going to be clear cut. We'll have to test all of that. Ghosts now have a low chance to not leave fingerprints when interacting with the environment. Oh, that's a dick move. A fingerprints ghost might not leave fingerprints. Oh, even worse. Oh no, our perfect games are going to be ruined. Fingerprints now disappear after 60 seconds. We can't just fill the house up with fingerprints and then go back through after taking some pills and take our photos. You got to get them when they happen. That's also going to make it harder to check for fingerprints. I mean, you've got to be more aware of it and be kind of Johnny on the spot looking for them. Oh, man. So that actually is going to buff just taking the photo camera and blowing it. Like if a door touch happens right in front of you and you've got a photo camera but you don't have the UV light, take the picture and see if you get it or not. But you can't necessarily rule out fingerprints if they don't show up, because there's a chance that they might not show up anyway. Oh, that's rough. Attic and basement ghosts now roam less often? All right. Attic and basement ghosts will now only roam to the next floor and not to the other side of the map. So what does that mean exactly? They stay... Would that mean that they walk, once they get down to the bottom of the stairs, they stay right at the bottom of the stairs? Or wherever they are up above, they just sort of boop, levitate down to the next level straight through, and that's where they'll be. That'll be something we'll have to look into. Oh, this is awesome. All contracts are now selectable at all times on the map screen. Yes! How many times have we had to leave and come back and leave and come back to get the one freaking job that we're looking for? So now they're all available all the time. Just pick the one you want to do. The average sanity will now be accurate instead of being random. Nice. No more little drifty numbers. It's just the number. Although I thought that was kind of part of their immersion before, was having that cycle. The contract, I guess it allows you to be more precise, but oh well. The contract difficulty will now default to the difficulty you last played. Oh, good. So instead of having it pop up randomly and then I always have to set it to professional, it'll just stay on professional if that's what I'm playing. That's good. The map description has been replaced with a difficulty description. Okay. All right. That's interesting. We'll have to check that out. The bone can now be a random bone from the human body and has new visuals. I did see this. I've seen a rib cage and a femur. So it's not just that one little bleached white dog bone. It looks like... Color's not my thing. So it looked like maybe it was a bloody bone or A rotten bone. It was a darker color. It wasn't that bleached white. Ghost footsteps can now only be heard when the ghost is moving. I didn't know that wasn't the case. Okay. All right. That's perfectly fine. Changing screen resolution in the journal now offers confirmation. Okay. I love that you can do that from within the journal now instead of having to always go back out to the lobby to monkey with stuff. Freezing temperature evidence has been changed to account for the new weather, requiring a lower reading on the thermometer. Breath has been unchanged. So if you get the breath, it's still freezing. But if it's cold out, going to that 3.0 and lower isn't enough to dictate that it's freezing. It's going to need to be a certain lower amount than that. You may actually have to dip all the way in below zero, depending on what the outside weather is. So that's something you have to take into consideration now, is the weather. It's going to affect things. The fuse box on and off indicator has been split into 2 different lights instead of one that changes color. Okay. That actually might be nicer for me because being colorblind, and it's a red and a green light. Sometimes I walk in there and I think it's out. I turn it off instead of on. So I've had that headache a few times. That'd be nice if I can visually see which light it is. Ghost sounds will now fade out instead of abruptly stopping. Okay. Ghost handprints and footprints have received new textures. I've seen this. The handprints, actually, I didn't see any fingerprints, but the footprints look pretty cool. The ones that I saw, they almost look like a barefoot footprint as opposed to a shoe. And they maneuvered differently. Instead of just pacing around right where they were, they actually walked like out of the room and around the corner, sort of a thing. So instead of just hearing stomp, 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 and you only see one footprint, but you can take 4 pictures of it, they're actually going, and you got to shoot each one individually. So I like that. Lighters will now turn off when swapped into your inventory. Again, I didn't realize that wasn't the case. Ghosts can now blow out candles when the lights are turned on. Al! Linda! She can blow out the candles next time with the lights on.
Yeah! Frickin' Linda.
Frickin' Linda. Several rooms have been renamed on Edgefield, Bleasdale, and Grafton. I hope they got rid of the garage in Bleasdale and Grafton. That was stupid on the Ouija board. All ghost events will now last a minimum of 1 second. Ghost events, a minimum. I didn't know that wasn't a thing. Although that may be the thing that I've been calling them stealth ghost events, where I didn't notice anything at all happens, but my ghost event objective gets crossed off. Like I didn't witness a damn thing, and yet I'm done here. So that's good if that's the case. Window knocks will now give noise on the parabolic. I really wish they'd make the parabolic useful again. It was super useful for a couple of weeks, and then they nerfed the hell out of it. I mean, they buffed it way, way, way beyond what it needed to be to start with, but then they've nerfed it right back to worthless. Several photo frames have had their photos replaced. All right. The heartbeat will now fade in and out. The volume has also been lowered. That heartbeat, that used to always indicate that the ghost could see you. It had line of sight to you. And now it can just be close to you. And that has caused me to break cover and try to run. And it's gotten me killed. It wasn't until I realized that you can hear the heartbeat even when you're safe inside a locker. So that's something to be aware of, is now not only can you sometimes hear it at random, but it's going to come in and out. All right, let's fly through some of these fixes. Fix grammar and punctuation. I don't care. Fixed a bug where the ghost would not always do their walking animation for ghost events. I didn't know they had to do a walking animation. The things you don't even know you're missing. Fixed a bug where only the host could turn off the car alarm. Jesus. That would suck. Fixed a bug where the salt placement highlight was visible on walls after looking at the floor. Didn't know that was a thing. Fixed a bug where you could place salt on the prison staircase inside the wall. How do they even find these issues? Fixed a bug where no code in clipboard and none weren't translating. That's fine. Fixed a bug where the footstep sounds would continue after you have stopped moving. I have sworn that I had ghosts following me around me, and I've tried to put down salt because I've been walking, and I stop, and the footsteps continue for a few seconds. And so I go, oh, it's right here, and I slam down all my salt, and nothing happens. And it was just my footsteps continuing on. That's good. That's a good one. Fixed a bug where the hunt wouldn't end if the host left during the hunt. This is a glitch that was recently exposed, just so you could really see the inner workings of hunt mechanics, and just not hunt mechanics, but regular roaming mechanics of the ghost. So that's a good fix. Can't exploit that glitch anymore, but at least that glitch, while it was there, did give us that insight into how everything works. Fixed a bug where having multiple monitors at different resolution would crash the game. That would suck. Fixed a bug where the ghost would sing while making hunting sounds at the same time. I hate that ghost when it sings. And wait a minute, I've had it sing while hunting. Is that not supposed to do that? Because I'd love to not hear ring around the rosy while it's friggin' hunting. Creeps me out. It creeps me out anyway, but to have it hunting on top of that. I'd love to not have is that crying, that ugly crying. Just,
oh my god, I hated that.
Yes. Fixed a bug where you could hold the tripod with a camera on during a hunt and the ghost wouldn't find you. What? Oh. What a cheese hack that would be. As long as you got a tripod, you're bulletproof, man. Alright, fixed a bug where the bloom option buttons were backwards on the main menu. On is off is on. Okay. Fixed a bug where you could see dots ghosts through walls where there was no dots projector. I have a hard enough time seeing the dots ghost with the dots projector. You're saying that they were elsewhere through the wall you could see them? I didn't run into that. Fixed an exploit where you could use a camera on a tripod to trick the ghost into thinking you were inside. I heard about this, so what people were able to do was throw the camera on a tripod during a hunt, I think, and then walk over to the garage door. You know how on some of those garage doors you can glitch the camera through and see for orbs on the inside of the house? But by doing that during a hunt, the ghost would come over. It would believe it could see you and try to get to you, but you're outside, so it couldn't. So you could kind of mess with it during a hunt. Okay, so that is going to wrap it up for the Nightmare review of the patch notes. I'm going to get this video out just as quick as I can. I'll probably have this out tonight, so hopefully you guys will be able to see that tomorrow morning. And we're going to be getting into some actual gameplay now. We're going to do some testing. Al and I are going to go through this, probably get killed a few times. It's going to suck. But you know what? It's all in the name of science, and I'm dying to see what the new update looks like. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care. See ya.